The broader market continues to demonstrate strong momentum in what's being called the Trump bump, with sentiment remaining notably positive in the early days of the new administration. Wall Street's main indexes rose on Wednesday, the 22nd of January 2025, with the benchmark S&P 500 hitting a record high, as investors cheered streaming video provider Netflix's quarterly report and technology shares rallied after the announcement of a private sector artificial intelligence infrastructure plan. Risk appetites got a boost from data pointing to a strong economy with cooling inflation and U.S. President Donald Trump's more moderate than feared approach to tariffs so far. Netflix, NFLX, was the S&P 500's biggest percentage gainer with a 9.8% advance after the company reported a record number of subscribers for the holiday quarter, enabling it to increase prices for most service plans. The technology sector, S5INFT, was the biggest gainer while Nvidia NVDA was the biggest boost for the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, followed by Microsoft MSFT. Investors were piling bets into the promise of AI. Tuesday's announcement by Trump of a $500 billion private sector AI infrastructure plan from Oracle, OpenAI, and SoftBank, even though there was no clarity on funding. "It's a story of big tech, and everything else is hanging in there," said Matt Stuckey, Chief Portfolio Manager for Equities at Northwestern Mutual Wealth Management, who attributed much of Wednesday's rally, particularly in chip stocks, to the AI announcement. The direct beneficiary, at least the beginning, would be the semiconductor space, he said, pointing to the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index outperformance with a 2.3% gain. But without funding clarity, Stuckey described the news as more of a pie-in-the-sky kind of investment story. Nevertheless, Oracle shares were up 7.6%, while server makers Dell and Supermicro added more than 4%. Microsoft added 3.9% and Nvidia rose 4.8%. US-traded shares of ARM Holdings, a technology supplier to chip companies that is 90% owned by SoftBank, were up 14.8%. Investors were still waiting cautiously for Trump's trade plans due to inflation concerns, after he warned that tariffs on imports from China, Mexico, Canada, and the European Union could be issued on February 1st. The president has ordered federal agencies to complete comprehensive reviews of a range of trade issues by April 1st, the date that analysts at Barclays say markets should focus on. The Dow Jones Industrial Average DJI rose 111.36 points, or 0.25%, to 44,136.46. The S&P 500 SPX gained 40.88 points, or 0.68%, to 6,090.12. And the Nasdaq Composite NYC gained 252.60 points, or 1.28%, to 20,009.69. Just 2 of the 11 S&P 500 sectors rose, with technology rising 2.6% and communication services S5TLs up 1.3%, with Netflix leading the charge, followed by Meta Platforms Meta. In individual stocks, Procter & Gamble PG advanced 2.2% after beating second quarter estimates, driven by growing demand for its household items in the United States. Johnson & Johnson J&J fell 2.5%, although the drug maker reported fourth quarter results above estimates. After rising on Tuesday, Ford F lost 3.3% as Barclays downgraded the stock. Textron TXT fell 4% after it forecast 2025 profit below estimates. Halliburton HAL slipped 2.6% after warning of softer activity in North America this year and posting downbeat quarterly revenue. Declining issues outnumbered advancers by a 1.43-to-1 ratio on the NYSE, where there were 242 new highs and 46 new lows. On the Nasdaq, 1,896 stocks rose and 2,456 fell, as declining issues outnumbered advancers by a 1.3-to-1 ratio. The S&P 500 posted 38 new 52-week highs and 4 new lows, while the Nasdaq Composite recorded 98 new highs and 79 new lows. 6,157.25 and 6,186.25 are upward projections on the S&P 500 E-mini futures based on most of its hourly charts. It might interest you to know that 6,526 was a projection as of the 17th of December 2024, but now negated.